Hello and welcome to the Investing Bros. I am T Shroom, and I'm really excited for today. It's a big day, potentially a historic day for crypto, as the SEC all get together. They huddle around their offices in DC and they try to make the decision of a lifetime for crypto. Will Ethereum get a spot ETF approved or not? What's going to happen here? Is it going to kick down the road and have to go into a litigation process that nobody wants to see, but that certain entities are 100% ready for? We will be finding that out a little bit later today. I've been scouring the internet to try to find when this decision will happen. Last time it came out around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks to be unreleased when that decision will be made, so we'll be monitoring that closely. But if you are wanting to stay abreast of what is going to end up happening, we will be reporting on it later today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you want even more up-to-date news on that, you can go to their Twitter account over at U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC Gov, or you can go to the website sec.gov/news/press releases. And there should be an update here, although last time with the Bitcoin spot ETF, the press release didn't come out until the next day. So we just heard from it on Twitter after a very unreliable fake tweet had come out about it before. But we're here. We're in the present, May 23rd. Anything can happen. We're very excited to see what's going to end up taking place here. Let me know in the chat. What do you all think is going to happen? Does it get approved, or is there a surprise disruption? Right now, the betting markets over on Polymarket are still saying a 71% chance, up from only 11% chance over the weekend. That has drastically changed for the better, for the bros, and we're happy to see it. Of course, Ethereum ETF approved by the 31st, so this betting spread specifically could be radically changed because there's still some room. But today is the day for the first of the last decisions to be made. So that is really why this spread specifically here is important. This betting line is important, and right now it's wildly in favor of it being passed. So we shall see. We're going to be looking at a couple of stories that kind of give it one way or the other, and you can be convinced. But Crypto Archie jumping in and said, "Yo, potential big day for crypto indeed." What is up, Crypto Archie? Good to see you. I'm going to go ahead and jump to a tweet that you had already queued up. He said, "When CAS ETF," said Crypto Archie. So you got to love it. And I'm asking the same question. When is the CASPA ETF? I was going to reference that one a little later in the show, but I thought I'd jump in there as Archie is... I don't have my world clock here, but it's got to be... Well, it's probably like the afternoon there in the UAE, wherever you are, Archie. We're glad that you're tuning in. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump on over to the charts because Ethereum is doing its thing, moving to the upside. We just had a wick high up to 3,900. Very nice. But so far, it's been a quick retrace on the 4-hour, back down. Hasn't left the golden pocket, though. So this is looking extremely bullish into the decision. Ethereum not surprising anybody by getting a nice bid to the upside. But is it priced in? Could this be priced in at this point? Could we see Ethereum just continue to go sideways from here or even come back down, even into the decision? I'm going to give my view on that, but this is the question we're asking in today's show. Is there a chance that this event is already priced in? After all, the betting markets have known for more than 24 hours, right, that there is a stronger possibility than not that this ETF does get approved, right? So the question is valid, I'd say. I think a lot of people probably know or feel they know the answer, that no, it's not priced in, right? But I think it's worth asking because as we look at the charts, it's very volatile right now. We've got a huge move up to the upside in a very short amount of time, and we're sitting on a pretty big red candle in the current 4-hour chart. So what say thee, chat? What do you think? What ends up happening here? Is there going to be kind of a priced-in event where the market gets a little bit spooked, says, "Hey, why aren't we going higher faster? This just got approved. What's going on?" And then people get scared, and the price tends to come down in those moments. Is that something that we need to be prepared for? Let me zoom out. If you're newer to crypto, you're newer to investing. don't be fearful. The question that I'm asking here is a much more short term question. It's going to have a disproportionate impact on the price in the short term, right? The rest of the week, the weekend, and even throughout the month of May. However, long term, I'm not selling my Ethereum, regardless of what happens in this. Well, not me. It depends. It depends what happens, but there's a very, very small chance that I would sell my Ethereum as a result of what happens during this event. Right? I'm a long-term hodler of Ethereum for a variety of reasons. However, there could be some more short-term volatility where if you're in a trade, you may want to consider, what the risk to the downside of that trade is, considering that there may be a baked-in element to this trade. Let's jump on over to the chat and see what folks are saying. Museum of Corruption, which is always good to be accompanied by, has just dropped an emoji of a coffee cup. Very nice. I've got a little energy drink here myself. So that's what I'm staying hydrated with. Coffee, a dehydrant actually. So make sure that you're drinking twice as much water as you are coffee. 25% not priced in though. Okay. Piper says unemployment claims were below predicted. So that would be good news, which could be interpreted as bad news, depending on the margin. Bad news for investors, depending on the margin. That could potentially rattle markets, but I think that in the crypto space, at least, there's a voice shouting much louder than the unemployment numbers, and that is the SEC. Let's see. Crypto Mini Bike said, "Good morning, everyone." Calachain said, "32 ETH is coming." Wow, very, very bearish there. Let's see. Army Piper chiming in again here said, "Dump is for unemployment numbers." Dump is from unemployment numbers. They were good, yeah. And so good news is bad news. Yeah, so we'll see. Piper saying that this dumpski here, this quick little dumpski that we just had, rejection at 3,900, was because of the numbers. So that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. I think in general the market has a lot of jitters right now about what's going to happen with Ethereum, with the ETF, and I'm curious to know what the chat thinks. We do have some good resistance here coming in with some confluence with the midline of the Bollinger Band on the 4-hour that really comes in right around here at 3,600. Is that the level that somebody just threw back out a second ago? Somebody threw out 3,200. So. But obviously today, I'm being a little bit bearish here, right? Just trying to be a little bit balanced, a little bit grounded about all the possibilities that could happen because the space is extremely bullish right now. Especially in the meme coins, everything's very, very bullish right now. Make no mistake. There is a little bit of a pullback look because of some economic data that's come out this morning. However, meme coins, especially ones that are on Ethereum, Pepe, are moving to the upside. Pendle getting a nice bid here. Let me just give this a restart to make sure we're getting accurate data here. Yep, Pepe up 8.6%, Bonk in double digits up 15. That's a Solana coin. Arweave down 5.7%. Render down 10%. Really disappointed. So this is why we're asking this question today, because this is a classic example of a phenomenon being baked in. Yesterday, we got the Nvidia earnings to the upside. This should be sending AI coins higher. Well, first of all, I'd say not so fast because these AI coins are coins. They're not stocks, so they're going to be contingent on what the SEC decides today, at least from a market's perspective. From a long-term perspective, who knows, right? But in a short term, if the SEC does go ahead and say Ethereum does not get a spot ETF and it's a security, then, all these AI coins are less attractive than AI stocks, which are already set up for compliance in the AI race. However, if Ethereum does get a spot ETF approval and isn't deemed a security, then these AI coins, I think that pent-up demand, that pent-up bullish pressure from the positive print in NVIDIA yesterday, I think that these babies print. So they're down right now. Buying them is a bet on Ethereum's passage in the SEC. Ondo up 8.8%. Ethereum Classic up 8.9%. So some people getting confused there. Or some people know something I don't. Always a chance of that. Matic, a classic ETH layer 2 here, up to 4.2%. Nice to see. Pendle up 5%. Wormhole up 6%. BitTensor is behind me, but you can't see it, but it's almost up 10%, almost double digits. Uniswap up 4.5%. And Caspa, the one that Crypto Archie thinks should have an ETF next, is up 1.7%. So very, very nice to see. Generally green, but I would say it's a mixed day. It's a mixed morning, and I'm glad I refreshed the screen because I think all of them were green when I first opened it. So these are the live prices here for the day for your crypto, and it does look very mixed, but we do have some high flyers, being Ondo, BitTensor being your utility, high flyers, Pendle being pretty good today. Oh, also ENA, Athena, pretty good as well, 7% to the upside. But it is the meme coins that I would say are getting kind of the biggest gain here, and it's Bonk, the classic Solana meme coin there. So it's looking good. It's looking good, I must say. Bros, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the like button. It really does help us out here. It's the cheapest and easiest and most fun and most smashable way to support the channel. So we much appreciate that. If you're joining us for the first time, maybe you're getting into investing for the first time. You've been working a job, you've been stacking some fiat, and you're like, how can I make this fiat work for me? You're looking to the markets and you found crypto. You're in a great place, and you're in a grounded ecosystem. Here at the Investing Bros, we like to think of ourselves as grounded, a little bit more wise, a little bit more methodical, and patient in the market. We're not just looking for the hottest meme coin. We're looking to invest in quality and learn how to trade profitably. So if you're interested in any of those things, make sure that you consider subscribing and smash the like button because it's awesome. Crux of Crypto said, smash those likes if you enjoy making money. There you go. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Ion said, unfortunately, because is the only place I can buy my meme coins right now. Cuz? Unfortunate cuz. Okay, I think there's more context to that one. Let's see. Martin M said, prepare for the worst, said Martin. Expect the best. SEC will come up with a random excuse to postpone their decision. Wouldn't the SEC? It's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. I wouldn't be too overly surprised. Hong Kong approved the first ETF. USA can't say no. Interesting. Interesting that the dynamic is that the pressure is not coming from Congress as much as it's coming from Hong Kong. First mover advantage. A very astute take there, Javier Eldon. I like that. I like that a lot. Make sure you come back. We like the value that you're bringing to the table, that you're bringing to the bros. Username said, oh, those crypto.com coins. Absolutely. That one's missing me. Not sure exactly what's going on with crypto.com. I don't see it doing anything on the chart, up or down. Let's keep zooming on here. RDX RP1 said by 4 p.m. we should know. I assume you're talking about the SEC decision. So that is pretty good. Now, bros, we are going to go ahead and jump on into the news here. Just a quick check on Polymarket. Still at 71% chance here of the approval. The betting markets are going to move. If there is some new news, the betting markets will move quickest. Oh, did I just send some? I accidentally went back in time and where it says 6% chance. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and move into it here. Let's see what we've got. All right, so just to kind of illustrate the importance here, I've got a tweet here from Charles Gaspariano. He's a Fox Business finance correspondent. He's got some interesting takes here. Breaking. If the SEC does approve the Ethereum ETF, it will be one of the biggest regulatory 180s in recent SEC history and proof that the crypto crowd is a legitimate voting bloc. Securities lawyers tell me. All the guidance coming from Gary Gensler was that he was even going to declare ETH a security, which would have made it complete no-go. But that's not what we're hearing now after people like John Deaton made their voices heard and Democratic lawyers heard them and got glittery about losing the Senate. Again, don't believe anything until you read the press release, but if it is approved, it's a big freaking deal. And of course, that press release will be released here if I don't cover it live on the 9 a.m. stream, which probably won't. It's probably not going to come out until later this afternoon, and we'll cover it on the 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream. That'll be at sec.gov/news/press releases. And of course, if you're scrolling around on Twitter, I'm sure you'll see somebody who's posting the results if they do come out. But be careful make sure you read the press releases, and I just read the URL for that. You want to find a .gov source because it is a .gov phenomenon today that we are all kind of huddled around the fire to warm our bones and to spurn our optimism for crypto. Ethereum spot ETF approval would raise expectations for Solana. That could also be classified as a commodity, said Bernstein. So, of course, folks are lining up to kind of say what's going to be the next to get an ETF, even though we haven't yet even gotten approval for Ethereum yet. Long term, we do believe, should Trump get elected, crypto could see a significant legislative and agency support with a new SEC chair. Ooh, that would be so
nice.
To usher in long-lasting structural changes in crypto financial integration. Analysts, GC and MS wrote. Difficult to pronounce words. More tactically, the Ethereum ETF approval would set a precedent for non-Bitcoin blockchain assets to be considered a commodity, raising hopes for Ethereum's peers to follow in the same path. So that is what Bernstein is thinking. And it doesn't stop there. While the Ether Spot ETF 19B4 filings are likely to be approved this week, S1 filings are not expected to go effective for weeks to months, resulting in no exchange tradable ETF spot vehicles until the summer, wrote Alex Thorne, head of research at Galaxy Digital, in a report on Tuesday. If the SEC approves the spot ETFs, Galaxy speculates that they could launch on exchanges in July or August. Galaxy also expects the regulator to approve all applications simultaneously to avoid giving individual issuers a head start. So there's a lot to unpack there, but what's important is that this will be very different from the Bitcoin ETF passage. If Galaxy's analysis is correct, there's a chance they're just way off the mark here, and the ETFs will go live, within 48 hours of them being approved, as in the case of Bitcoin. But I gotta trust the experts here on this one, which isn't a phrase I use very often, but I do trust the experts over at Galaxy Digital that this ETF, while it may be approved today, and the poly markets are still betting that it is going to be approved today, it may not go active until as late as August, excuse me. So that is something to keep in mind, and that would kind of contribute to our potential sell the news event, or potential the price is baked in for an approval phenomenon that could happen today. Again, my bias is that it's not baked in. My bias is that if we see an approval, that price for Ethereum will exceed 4,000 by the end of the day, and may even skyrocket and head much, much higher. But we will have to see. That's my bias, right? But I don't know. I don't know as much as the next guy what is going to end up happening. There's different dynamics here than with the cousin of this event, the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, that ended up being a sell the news event, right? But there was one very, very major reason why, and that had everything to do with the Grayscale ETF not changing their fee structure, right? And so that incentivized the largest holder of Bitcoin through an investment vehicle to go ahead and become the biggest seller. And so that was a sell the news event. Love eating breakfast while watching the BROZ. Go ahead and smash the like button if you have a favorite activity you like to do while you're watching the BROZ. I know I do, and that's doing it. Doing the show, I should say, not other things that you may have thought. You naughty, naughty boy. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into the next story here. And it's actually a clip, so let's take a look. Let's take a listen.
Amend these S1s. So I don't know if the Ethereum ETF gets approved today, next week or the week after. It will get approved at some point in time. But also the trade now is who's next, right?
Exactly. Who is next? Because and I was talking about yesterday. Now it's almost time for truly my ETF, my blended ETF, of which which crypto asset it is. And so who is next, though?
I mean, I think you've got to think about Solana as probably the next one, right? I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are probably the big three for this cycle. But I'll give you even a stranger, or maybe not stranger, but maybe an unintuitive way to think about it: Robinhood and Coinbase. Because now we have some clarity about what a security is and what isn't. And they'll be able to list a lot more crypto, which means a lot more trading for them. So I think they're the biggest beneficiaries from the change that's gone on.
Oh, man, so much to say. There's so much to talk about today. It is so exciting. I'm going to be having on CVO later today on the show. We're going to be talking about everything that goes on. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the approval of the spot Ethereum ETF That is CVO. And as much as Caleb Branson has thrown shade at buying and holding Litecoin, Paul Sampson, CVO's, one of his bigger claims, I'm impressed by it, right? I'm impressed by it, is that he was a very early investor in Litecoin and hasn't sold since. So we'll have him come on the show. He usually gives some great insights on long-term price levels for coins, so that's going to be really, really fun to have him on. We love him a lot. That's big CVO. He'll be on to talk a little bit more about that. Maybe it'll be Litecoin. I'm sure he'll be saying Litecoin should be the one that gets the ETF next. Let me know, chat. What coin do you think should have the ETF next? Is it Solana, or is it another coin that should get the ETF? Should it be Cardano, perhaps? Yeah, we'll see. Or should it be kind of an ETF that actually holds multiple coins, kind of a blended, as the analyst there at CNBC said? To be very, very interesting. Of course, the expanded conversation potential there with the limited time we have is what could Robinhood expanding its coin set availability mean for crypto? I think obviously more adoption and price go to the upside, but I want to know what you think. Let me know as well. Do you think that could potentially be sell the news? Could there be something more sinister lying below? I know that not everybody loves Robinhood, and for good reason. However, I'm still definitely a Robinhood user. Let's go into our next story here. But before we do, let's hear a little bit of a word from one of the organizations that's making this episode possible, and that is Efani. Efani is your solution if you have a lot of important information, maybe crypto-related information stored on your smart devices. Efani works with mobile, and it's America's most secure mobile service. It actually takes you off your current provider, whether that be AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and it brings you onto their carrier, right, which is exclusive, and it's much more safe. And hey, if something were to happen, they have a $5 million insurance policy that would cover any potential damages, but they are very confident in their ability to keep your phone safe from even the worst attacks like SIM swaps. Head on over to the description of this video. You will see the link for Efani, and you'll get your second month free, and that is a $99 value. Go check out America's most secure mobile service, Efani, down in the description below, and get on a path to mobile safety. House passes FIT21 crypto bill with majority bipartisan support. Now, this could have gone either way, but this came out very, very pro-crypto. Let's take a look at this. In all, 279 representatives voted yes, 136 voted no, and 15 abstained from voting on the proposed crypto legislation. Before we get any further, we got to get into the crazy news, which is that Nancy Pelosi voted for crypto for the FIT21 bill. Absolutely insane. Big Nancy, what do you have up those sleeves of yours? How much crypto do you own? Of course, nobody can know that because it's so easy to buy and hold crypto anonymously, especially if you're as powerful as Nancy Pelosi. You have all kinds of strings you can pull. But back to the brass tacks, is the bill received bipartisan support, but mainly received Republican votes. Not a shocker there, with 208 of 217 Republican representatives voting yes. By contrast, just 71 of the 213 Democrat representatives voted in favor of the bill. So the fact that any Democrats voted for this, after Maxine Waters and other House Democratic leaders said that they were going to oppose this, including your boy Joey B., Big Joe Biden, said that he was going to oppose this but not veto it. The fact that 71 voted for it is showing that the Democrats actually came to their senses or were heavily incentivized to vote in favor of the bill. Wouldn't put it past the industry to do what all the other industries do, if you can read between the lines. After all, I haven't reminded folks of this in a long time, but crypto is an interest group. As much as we like to come down on other industries as being interest groups as well, crypto is an interest group, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you act in the interest of the industry in a way that does not actually help the people is when I start to have a problem with it, and so should you. But I do not think that with this vote at all that this is acting against the views or the good graces of the people of the United States. I think that this is a historic step And I might even say that this is one small step for crypto, one giant leap for decentralized future of currency. So it's very, very good. Eric Wallen jumping in. LOL, Blackie Chan. Yes, what did Blackie Chan say? We got to see. We got to scroll back. Oh, Sativio Shimoto saying, what's up? Saying hi. What is up, Sativio? Sunbathing in Cyprus is Brian Coyle. Very cool. Let me know, where are you coming from, and where was your last vacation? Where was your last vacation? Let me know in the chat. Blackie Chan said, Eric Wallen wants that ADA ETF so he can sell those ADA bags. Oh, gosh. A lot of controversy in one comment there from Blackie Chan. You got to love it. Zachary Martin said, early morning T-Shroom sessions with the bros. You got to love it. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us here in the 9 a.m. stream for the Investing Bros. Go ahead and smash the like button if you're having fun. Why don't we jump back into the charts? I've got one more headline here. It's kind of silly. Federal Reserve says only 7% of American adults own crypto. First of all, there's no way that that's accurate. I think it's a much higher number than that. But the fact that it's below 15% is very, very bullish for crypto. Why? Well, because a lot more people are going to buy it at some point in the future, and that means that your bags are going to be pumped by the less informed masses, we can call them. You gotta love the less informed masses. After all, they are the ones that get in later and pump the bags that you bought much more early on. Can I get a heck yeah? That's how it happens, bro. So you got to be appreciative for sure. Zachary Martin saying his favorite vacation spot, Green Turtle Cay, small island in the Bahamas. Bahamas was last international travel. Very nice. Very nice. Sacramento, said Jeff Walters. Sacramento. I've been there once, and it was on vacation, so it was cool. Just was doing kind of a north to south tour of California with an old friend. California was cool back in the day. Man, when was I there? I think it might have been like 2014, 2015. So we'll see. We shall see. Woo, had to mute myself for a powerful sneeze there. You all would be very appreciative. Lion in my pocket, dropping some alpha here, said S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ are all going to open in an all-time high here in just a minute. Very, very true. So I'll leave you all to a day of trading. But before we do, let's jump on into the Bitcoin chart because we haven't taken a look at that quite yet. Ethereum is kind of recovering from the job numbers damage that was done earlier this morning. Seeing a nice little recovery from the wick bottom of the candlestick. We are up 1.6%. And then from that candlestick higher on the 4-hour again, just in this 4-hour block, we're up just under 4%. Let's jump over to the daily candles for Ethereum, and it looks a lot more bullish. It just looks like we went higher and then retraced, which is exactly what we did. But this candlestick right here says it all, right? This is the big boy from the 20th. That was Monday. Remember, we all woke up. Eric Bulkanis and James Seyfert were like, hey, 75% now, not 25% chance of Ethereum being approved. Again, that is what the chatter is going to be all day. I think the conclusion that I would have is that indeed the price is not baked in for Ethereum. I say that for a variety of reasons, but I think the biggest reason is because we have had a higher high recently, not an all-time high, but we've had a higher high of 4,000. I think that if the price was baked in, we would have at least come up in price discovery to the upside north of that, right? So I think that if there is an approval, we're definitely going to, well, don't want to say definitely, but we're going to get up to 4,000. I think that's my opinion, right? So definitely keep that in mind if you're considering that the price is already baked in. Live price to all-time high is still 26% to the upside. So again, I just don't think that we're baked in quite yet here. I have been seeing more and more people say that, smart people. So just keep it in mind that we could see a potential drop down for Ethereum, just as the market kind of figures out what the heck is going on here, and potentially sells off just before the moment that the SEC makes their decision. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin continuing to consolidate with a little bit of a bias to the downside. Let's jump to the 4-hour, see what we can't pull out. So kind of defied this downtrending triangle here. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and kill this because it's been invalidated. But we could be starting to see a little bit of a different triangle starting to form, descending triangle here. So this could still absolutely break bullish. We have lost the midline of the Bollinger Band here. We've given that up with this current candle. So that isn't the most bullish thing, right? But Bitcoin, like the rest of the market, right, is just waiting for this big announcement today. So of course we're going to see consolidation, maybe a little bit of volatility into the actual decision itself. But after the decision, all bets are off. And it is going to be, I would imagine, going to be some pretty big volatility, and hopefully to the upside. If it's to the downside, depending on how the new regulation, the new posturing of the SEC is, let's say they go ahead and deny it and they say Ethereum is a security, then I think we have that's kind of the worst case scenario, and we're going to see prices potentially go further to the downside. But if they say that it isn't a security but they do also reject it, then I think you see kind of a medium sell off, right? So not the worst case scenario, but short of it. And then obviously, if they approve it, and then Gary Gensler begrudgingly says, "Oh, well, the judiciary, blah 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 blah. I play by the rules, blah blah blah." I don't play by the rules, but he does. Anyway, you know what I mean. Then we'll see some price move to the upside, pretty precipitously, I would say. That is in the case where Gary Gensler and his crew of brilliant thinkers over at the SEC go ahead and say, "Yeah, Ethereum should be approved." Well, that is going to do it here today for the Investing Bros. Where is Tim? If you've been haven't tuned in all week, Tim is at a birthday party for his little Brody, his little baby boy, down in Jacksonville, Florida. He's having fun down there, and is all scheduled and everything's fine. He's out on a planned vacation, so having a lot of fun down there, and he'll be back on Saturday. Today I'll be joined by CVO, who'll be on a little bit later. We're going to have some fun and talk crypto, and hopefully we'll be on the other side of the decision so that we can give some insight on price levels, hopefully to the upside as well. That's going to be CVO. He'll be joining us to talk crypto. All right, bros, without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button, and if you're trading today, keep those stop losses tight, and if you are human, stay hydrated. I'll see you at 3.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.